Hey class, welcome to spring semester 2020. This is Religion 210, Introduction to Judaism. I'm Professor Pitts, and I'm excited to have you in the course this semester. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm excited to teach this class. Just a little background on me. I have taught at Cal State Fullerton for about six years or so, and it's primarily been the religious studies courses on Jewish history and development of thought. That's Religious Studies 361 and 362. So this is the first time I've taught Introduction to Judaism. And so when I structured this course, I wanted to basically pull all the best things from the previous two courses that I teach and kind of sum everything together, talk about Judaism from a lot of different angles and perspectives. And so I think this is going to be a really good course and very informative, and hopefully you're going to discover throughout the semester that I'm extremely passionate about the subject and excited to talk about this. And so not only do I want you to get information out of this course, but I want you to be excited about the topic. I want you to come in each week with a desire and excitement to learn. I know that might sound overly optimistic because, a lot of you are just taking this for the credit that you need for majors or minors or whatever. But I can promise you that there'll be some extremely exciting and fascinating information in this course, some chances to experience the religion firsthand, to have a lived religious experience in connection with Judaism and observe the living of Judaism, the observation of the rituals and whatnot. You'll be able to see firsthand the things that we've studied and talked about. And I think it'll be an exciting opportunity for you. Now, that being said, those of you that have taken, if there's anybody in here that has taken my 361 and 362 course, you're welcome to take this one as well, but just be aware that there will be some crossover, quite a bit of crossover from some of the information that we talk about in those other two survey courses. So, that being said, let me launch into the syllabus. For this first lecture, I basically just am going to go through the syllabus. I'm going to talk about all the assignments, and I'm going to show you clearly how you can succeed in this course. I would love for everyone to succeed fully. I'd love to have to go back to explain to my boss in the department why I had to give everyone an A, because I don't grade on a curve. I don't only give a certain number of A's. I'll give an A to everyone that earns it and everyone that puts in the effort at the time to be successful in this course, and I'll show you how to do that during this lecture. So let's kind of scroll through the syllabus here. Now, first of all, the required texts that you have are, the number one is Essential Judaism, A Complete Guide to Beliefs, Customs, and Rituals by Robinson. We also have Judaism, A Very Short Introduction. The Sabbath by Abraham Joshua Heschel, who's an influential Jewish theologian and rabbi here in the United States. He has passed away for a number of decades, but his influence is very significant. And then there'll be some additional course readings as well. All right. So I'm going to kind of skip through some of the stuff on the syllabus and get directly to the assignments. So right here, there are 6 assignments, basically. 6 ways of getting points in this class. Now, I'm going to go through each one, and I want you to pay attention to something. A number of the assignments will give you the opportunity to get 100% of the points just for doing the assignment. There will be no deduction of points based on content or anything like that. As long as you do the assignments and you put in effort, you will get the points. And I try to make about half or maybe even more of the points that come from this course directly following that model. So I'll show you those specifically. Those are like free throws in basketball. You're lined up, there's no defense, you just got to put in the work and you got to make them. And that's kind of how I look at some of these assignments. Just put in the work, you will get the points, and you'll be on your way to the grade that you're wanting to obtain. So first of all, let's talk about the discussion postings. As we go throughout this course and we talk about what it is, what it means to be a Jew, and what Judaism is, what its history is, what are some of the pertinent points that we need to study to understand Judaism on a broader scale. We will have opportunities to talk and discuss, and not everything will be cut and dried. I want this course to be an opportunity for everyone to learn more about themselves and about each other. And we need to have a very safe atmosphere for that. So every week there's going to be a forum posting. So you can get on the forum, you can post, have the opportunity to be heard. Because this is an online class, we don't have the chance to be in class to raise our hands or anything like that. So everybody is being instructed and asked to participate. And there's no social anxiety that would keep you from participating because you have that certain amount of anonymity that you're just posting. You're posting your thoughts. You can think them through before you type them out. But basically, this is part of your assignment. So let's go here first to the discussion postings. 24% of your grade will come from your postings. Now, you're required during the semester to do 12 postings. There will be 15 modules. So basically, out of the 15, you have to post at least 12 times. You can only do one posting per week that counts towards your assignment. You can post every week if you'd like to just improve and increase the dialogue, but only one per week will count. So you can't wait for 7 or 8 weeks and then all of a sudden start posting twice a week. I just won't count that. Now, what are the postings? They're basically 1 to 2 paragraphs. I'm looking for maybe 6, 7, 8 sentences about the topic that we're talking about that week. It can be anything related to the readings, to the lecture, to any videos we've watched. Anything. It can be something that stuck out to you. Hey, I was interested in this. I noticed this. This is what I found fascinating. Or something that you disagreed with. In this module, we read this author that wrote this, and I that is different from the way I understand it, and from what I've read, and from what from my belief because of this. It can be anything basically. I just want to see that you're putting in a little bit of effort and time into doing these forum postings. Now again, one forum posting every week, 12 out of the 15 weeks. So 12 will get you full points for that piece of it. Now there's also replies as well, forum replies. So you'll be asked to reply to the postings of someone else in your, in the section that is posted. You'll get on there and you'll post a reply and a response. Now the replies don't have to be as long. There's no real limit. It can be a sentence or two, but just something reacting to what someone else is saying. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Does that prompt some other thought that you have? So anyways, you have to do a total of 20 replies during the semester. So I'll let you do the math and figure out how many you need to do each week. But the bottom line is you have to do 12 postings and 20 replies throughout the semester. Now, just so you know, and I want to make this extremely clear so that there's no misunderstanding. The postings have to be posted, you'll see it right here in the syllabus, by Friday at midnight. That's for your original discussion posting. If you don't post it by Friday at midnight, then it won't count. And by midnight, I mean Friday evening. So 11:59 Friday evening, basically, has to be posted. That way, you'll have Saturday and Sunday out through the rest of the week to post replies to other people's postings. So Friday at midnight, your discussion posting has to be posted. Anything after that won't be accepted as towards credit. And then your replies can be posted anytime throughout the week. So let's say someone in the class posts on a Wednesday. You can immediately start replying to that, and it'll count towards your replies. 12 postings, 20 replies. It's to make sure that we're all engaged, that we all have a chance to discuss. Now, hopefully it goes without saying that you need to make sure that you are respectful on discussion boards, that you don't discredit another person's opinions. Without you can disagree, but make sure that you're respectful, that you show evidence, that you back up what you're saying. But all in all, we just want this to be a positive experience. Okay. The next way of generating points. Now, let me just say real quick that the discussion postings, I hope that it was clear. If you do this, you will get the points. You'll get all the points. I won't go through and say, well, you didn't put quite enough analysis in this one, so I'm not going to give you all the points. You'll get everything. But if I feel like you're not putting enough into the discussions throughout the weeks, if I feel like your postings are a little bit lacking and you're only doing a few sentences, or it's not much analysis or personal thought, then I may send you an email saying, hey, you got to ratchet it up a little bit. And if you don't do that, if you don't follow my instructions, then maybe I'll deduct points. But the bottom line is really, if you do this and you do a good job and you put effort into it, and you're not told by me to increase your effort or change something, then you'll get the full points. That's 240 points out of 1,000. That's almost a fourth of your points towards an A that will be automatic and guaranteed. Now, the module quizzes. This is where a lot of students slide, is that they have a hard time with the quizzes, but if you put forth the effort and the time, you will be able to do well in the quizzes. Everything from the quizzes will come from the readings or the lectures, and I usually do, just to give you a little bit of a hint, I usually do a little bit more heavy from the lecture. All right? So the quizzes will be posted every week at Thursday in the morning. The quiz will be available. Now, I don't want the quizzes to be available Monday, because I don't want everybody to just kind of go through, spend a couple of hours on Monday morning and get everything done for the week and then just check out. I want you to have to come back to the class throughout the week a few times, just as you would if you had a class that you were, had to be on campus for. This allows you to continue to be engaged throughout the week in the class. It doesn't have to be for hours a day, but it means that you come back periodically throughout the week. And anytime after Thursday morning, you will be able to take the quiz up through 11:59 p.m. on Sunday evening. Anything after Sunday going into the next Monday will not be allowed to take the quiz. So make sure that you get on between Thursday morning and Sunday evening to take that quiz. All right? Now, there will be 14 quizzes throughout the semester. So pretty much every module will have a quiz. There will be no quiz this first week, but every other module will have a quiz, 15 points each, for a total of 210 points. This is where, again, a lot of students experience a loss of points because they're not putting in a ton of effort on preparing for the quizzes. So make sure that you spend time preparing for the quizzes so you can do well. All right? Now, the Sabbath assignment, that's 5% of your grade. It's 50 points. These are guaranteed points. If you do this, you will get the points. All right? Now, this will take place during modules 9 and 10. You'll see that later on in your syllabus. During the first 8 weeks, so leading up to 9 and 10, you will be reading Abraham Joshua Heschel's The Sabbath. It's a short book. It's a devotional piece. Now, the reason that we do this is not to sort of convert anyone or convince anyone of the validity of Judaism, but it's to understand and view Judaism from a different perspective than what we will a lot throughout the semester, because we're going to be reading a lot of academic books, a lot of academic works and articles and things like that, and not as much sort of devotional. So I want you to understand, anytime you study a religion, you should understand why certain people choose to base their life on this particular foundation, build their life on this foundation, and why it is that, and how it is that they experience a connection with the divine through this particular belief system. And if you're just studying it academically, it's hard to see that. So I want you to read this. It's a very beautiful book, very poetic. I think you'll really enjoy the writing. And it's Abraham Heschel talking about the concept of sacred time in the Jewish tradition and about the Sabbath day in particular. So anyways, just so you know, this will not be designated in the readings throughout the semester, throughout the first 8 weeks. You will just need to read it on your own time. It's not a very long book. You could probably sit down and read it in 1 to 2 hours. But you'll need to spend time reading that outside of the readings that you already have for this class during the first 8 weeks. And then on weeks 9 and 10, you'll be given a special forum posting, a special forum separate from the regular forum for the week will be posted, one during week 9 at the very beginning and one at the very beginning of week 10. And you'll get 2 different questions in the forum about the text, and you'll be expected to write a response of a minimum of 500 words. So again, that's only during week 9 and week 10, and if you do that, and if you write the 500 words, and if you've been thoughtful and put work into it, then you'll get that full credit. You'll get the full 50 points. You will also need to post a response to one of your neighbors or one of your colleagues' postings. So just like the forum postings, You'll need to post a response. Now, these responses and postings will not go towards your total for the posting assignment. This will be separate, but just like that assignment, you're expected to do a posting of the 500 words and a response. And again, the response does not need to be 500 words. It just needs to be a reply and a reaction to one of your fellow students' postings. All right? The next assignment, and this is another gimme, this is another freebie, is the synagogue assignment. I want you to have the opportunity to view the religion in action. So you will have the chance to visit a Jewish synagogue throughout the semester. You are the one that has the responsibility to find a synagogue, and there are a lot to choose from. It can be any type of Judaism you want: Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, Reconstructionist. I've had some students go to Messianic Jewish services where it's sort of like a Christian Jewish service, anything. And I want you to respectfully attend the service. You can reach out to them in advance if you'd like, or usually just show up is fine. Most of the congregations are 100% fine with that. And I want you to experience what it's like at the worship service. Now, I know this might be different or difficult for some people that are not in the habit of sort of attending other faiths if you're not of this particular faith. But I want you to try to set aside that and realize that the purpose of this visit is not necessarily for your own spiritual edification, but it is to observe and to view how the religion is practiced, how the worship takes place. And that way you can actually see in action some of the stuff that we'll be talking about throughout the class when we talk about covenant and when we talk about ritual and when we talk about Jewish identity. You'll be able to see these things. And I can just about guarantee that this synagogue assignment will be probably the most memorable part of this whole course that you take. It's 100 points. They're guaranteed. You basically just need to do it, and you need to do a short write-up, just a 2-page write-up, and post that on the assignments page where I'll indicate later in the semester, and you'll get the points. But make sure that you do this and don't leave it to the very end. Now, it could be any service at all. It doesn't have to be a Sabbath service. It can be a holiday service. It can be an outreach program. It can be anything, as long as you're at the synagogue with the members of the synagogue and experiencing what they're doing. And you'll get full credit. Now, you have most of the semester to do this. It's due at the beginning of week 14, April 27th by 11:59. I will not accept late submissions of this for any credit, just because you have pretty much the whole semester to do it. So just keep that in mind. All right, the next source of points is the research paper. This is 20% of your grade. You want to make sure that you put in a significant amount of time preparing for this. It's a 5 to 7 page paper, and it is on anything that you'd like to write it on that's relevant to this course. Now, some people like that freedom, other people don't, because they don't know what to write on, and they'd much rather have a topic that they can choose from, a couple of different topics. But I don't do that because I want you to think creatively. I want you to engage in the course, figure out what you like, figure out what you're interested in, what is the piece that most fascinates you. Now, let's say you're just generally not really interested, you're just taking this for credit. Still, there are going to be certain parts of the course that will be more significant to you and interesting to you and will resonate with you. Find what that is and write on that. Write a topic. Or find a topic that intrigues you. So it basically is anything that connects to any one of the modules, and even if it doesn't connect to the module, but it does connect to Jewish studies or Judaism in general, then contact me if you have any questions and you're not sure, and ask for approval. But I'll generally approve it if it's relative to Judaism in any way. It can be ancient, it can be modern, whatever. If you have some questions about creating a topic sentence or a thesis, contact me. I encourage you to go to the Writing Center, go to the library, ask the librarian, the reference librarian, to show you the Jewish section, Judaism, Jewish studies, Israel. Spend some time in the books and see what interests you and what pops out. Put some time and effort into this, because this is where a lot of people lose points as well, because they kind of phone it in or write it during the last minute. But spend some time. I recommend, I'm not requiring it, but I recommend that you pick a topic within the first 6 or 7 weeks, so that you can spend some time with it and not pick a topic right at the end and try to kind of force a paper out at the very end, because it just isn't going to turn out like you want it to be, and it's not going to get you the grade that you want. All right? And the final source of points is the final exam. That's 20% of your grade. There's no midterm in this course. It's 200 points that will be broken into 4 sections. All right, there will be a multiple choice section, true or false, a fill in the blank with single word fill in the blanks and 1 or 2 sentence fill in the blanks or answer the question. And finally, an essay question. You'll have 20 minutes. I'll give you a few different options, and you could choose the one that you want to write on and write the essay question. Now, I want you to, how do you prepare for this? A lot of people will want to know from the very beginning, how do you prepare for the exam? Well, the best way to do it is to spend time reviewing your quizzes throughout the weeks. I'm going to give you a copy of PowerPoint presentations at the beginning of each week that are connected with the quizzes. I want you to, a good idea is to print those out before you take your quiz, take notes on them, save those, study them in preparation for the final. Several weeks before the final, I will also give a study guide, which will basically be a term sheet, nothing more, just certain terms that we've focused on throughout the semester. Those terms will be the terms that I use to build the test. So as long as you study those and you know a few sentences about each term, then you should do great on the test. I try not to make the final exam too hard because I know you've got a lot of other things to deal with and I don't want you to stress out too much. All right? So that's pretty much it. Go back to here. So again, you got the postings and the replies, the Sabbath assignment, the weekly quizzes, your synagogue assignment due near the end of the semester, week 14, and your research paper. This is due the final week of the semester, the 15th module. All right? And all the dates are in the syllabus. Now, let me just go scroll down and show you. You're welcome to look through the syllabus, and I encourage you to read through it in detail. But let's just look at the course schedule a little bit. So starting with Module 1 this week is just a welcome to the course. Then this will kind of instruct you what to do throughout the week, and then there'll be more detailed instructions and an introduction to each week on Titanium that will be posted and emailed out to you at the very beginning of each week. All right? So if you see, we're really focusing a lot on history at the beginning. Next week we're going to talk about what it means to be Jewish and what saying that you are a Jew really identifies or what it means. Right? And that question is very nuanced. But then we're going to be talking about history for about 5 or 6 weeks. We're going to be going into a history now. This is going to be basically a survey of the history of the Jewish people from the beginning until the modern time. So obviously there's a lot. We're not going to be able to touch on everything. We're going to hit the highlights, but I want you to know the general history of the Jews so that you can understand some of the other points in a little greater detail that we're going to be talking about. And then after that, pretty much around the spring break, once we come back, then we're going to be talking about, starting here with Module 10 and Covenant, we're going to be talking about just some different topics. That's right before spring break. But we're going to be talking about some specific topics to Judaism for you to understand it better, some things that are pertinent to the tradition and the people. And that's what we'll do throughout the rest of the semester. And then, again, final exam, the 11th of May. So, again, I recommend that you spend a little more time with the syllabus, but this hopefully gives you a good introduction. Remember that a little over half of the points are free. All you have to do is do the work and you get the points. I want you to be successful. I want you to learn. I want you to be engaged and excited and come out scholars of Judaism after you take this course. So I'm always available. You can get a hold of me via email. I'm happy to take text, message, calls, whatever. Because I'm not on campus and this is an online course, I don't have office hours at the Religious Studies Department, but I am available. I put office hours on here Wednesday, 9 a.m. to noon, which basically means I'll be available if you want to talk or if you want a quick response via email. All right. Hopefully we have a great semester and you choose to remain in this course and we can learn and grow together. Thank you.